Take a look at the chart next to me right now. This is the S&P 500. This is the current chart right now at the time of this video of the S&P 500. Now, I want you to notice something. There is something happening. Bitcoin and the S&P 500 appear to be breaking away. It appears to have actually finally happened, that we are parting ways. And what does it mean? That's the real question. Like, we've been waiting for this all year. Like, is there going to be a moment where we really break away? We break free. But what does it mean when that happens? Does that mean Bitcoin is going to go to the moon? Does that mean Bitcoin is going to suffer more volatility? Like, what does that actually mean? And that's the thing. We never actually can get any clear answers on that. And we actually have no idea the significance of us pacing together. You get what I'm saying? So there's a lot of unknowns, but we're broken free. So this is almost like we're exploring new territory for the rest of the year. Now, if you happen to be bearish, okay, I'm like, for myself, I'm not bearish on Bitcoin. I'm just very objective. I just don't get sucked into the hopium. I don't sell hopium. I believe hopium is just a good way to get financially ruined. I take a very objective, passive stance when it comes to what Bitcoin would do. I look at all the dynamics and I say to myself, Wall Street owns more Bitcoin than majority of the community does. Wall Street is continuing to buy more Bitcoin and buy more hash power. Therefore, we're playing more by their rules and less by what we want. So I feel like the 2017 days are over with the craziness. But if you are a bear, let's just say you're completely bearish on Bitcoin, you think things are just going to get really bad, I actually got some good news for you in the sense saying you might be wrong, okay? I found something, and this could be significant. And I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about Mr. Rainbow freaking Unicorn over there who had some nice things to say about me yesterday. We're definitely going to talk about him today. I got some things we're going to point out, but he's not worth our time yet. We'll get to him later. What I'm talking about is this piece of news right here. We need to dive into that. Now, before we dive into that, make sure you smash subscribe, okay? Hit the like button. You know how YouTube is. They're smashing all content creators, even Mr. Rainbow Sherbert over there. But have a look at this. Bitcoin just 4 days away from historically bullish 10K price record. 4 days away for sustaining the price over 10K. Now, there have been metrics where we've measured the price, okay, as far as how long it stayed over $10, how long it stayed over $100, how long it stayed over $1,000. Those metrics right there typically and have historically somewhat been accurate in predicting the next evolution for Bitcoin. Now, this isn't science. This is not absolution. This is not guarantees. But the next 4 days could potentially paint the picture of what Bitcoin will be in 2021. And again, this is one of those things that either mean everything or it will mean nothing. Okay, that's how it goes with crypto, especially Bitcoin. Either it means everything or it means nothing. There's really no gray middle ground. So I'm very excited to see this. I have a feeling, okay, if things keep going the way they are, 2021 will be a very exciting year for Bitcoin. But I do believe if we break 20, 30K, I do believe we will fall below 10K again. Not because Bitcoin sucks, just because of the fact that we know that the CME has dramatic control over the price of Bitcoin. We saw it in 2017. We've seen it through all through this year as Grayscale has bought billions of dollars of Bitcoin and the price has not moved. Okay, so we have to keep that stuff in mind. Now, you know how Binance seems to catch a lot of shit. Like they do. They catch a lot of shit. Like CZ just can't get a break. Everyone either thinks he's a scammer, he has child labor, he's a hustler, he's a this, he's a that. I gotta say, after seeing today's article on Forbes, okay, there's a document that leaked called Tai Chi. The Tai Chi document reveals Binance's elaborate scheme to evade Bitcoin regulators. And I shit you not, this is a real article. I'll try to remember to put the link for this down below. But, okay, so as a Bitcoiner, okay, to interpret this as a Bitcoiner, any of the negative shit that we could have ever said about CZ as far as not being a true Bitcoiner, true crypto enthusiast, everyone accused him of being too much of a capitalist. This kind of brings him back to the roots, of what a Bitcoiner is. someone who wants freedom, someone who wants to work outside of the regulatory space, the centralized space, and work in a decentralized space. Now, the way you went about it, not saying it's illegal. He probably broke a lot of laws. I'm not condoning breaking laws. I'm just saying CZ is obviously a crypto rebel like the rest of us, okay? I'm sure, though, if this is true, there's going to be some hell to pay. The entity he was targeting, as far as evasion goes, was the U.S. The U.S. government. And the U.S. government is like the kid in the sandbox, okay? If Earth was the sandbox, the U.S. government is the bully that makes everyone play by his rules. That's unfortunate, but that's what it is. It is what it is. He went and picked on the biggest bully in the damn sandbox. The biggest freaking bully in the sandbox. I have no idea how this is going to go. I have no idea how this is going to impact the market. But I got to say, this is some pretty damn dramatic, crazy, like, I want to see how this unfolds kind of event. Now, speaking of drama, look at this chart behind me. Tell me that is not drama. Tell me that if you, okay, were someone who invested in this and experienced a chart like this and hung on because someone influenced for it and never came out there to say, hey, it's going to be okay, and I still believe it. Tell me that this would not be a dramatic experience for you. And you see this dramatic roller coaster of pain and actual true FUD right here. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt could be a very painful, very lonely, very financially taxing ride to take. And sadly for many of you, you chose to take that ride because of Rainbow Sherbet over here. Now, Rainbow Sherbet, the thing I was trying to convey in my previous video. And if you could just empty the pixie dust out of your ears, all that magic that you think you're full of, I was saying, as this whole project was going to hell in a handbasket, where were you? Where were you to go and say, hey, community, I got you. I'm suffering with you. I still believe in them. Where were you? Same nasty ass roller coaster ride for, well, Hyper, the one that you say that you believe in, you're part of, and you support. Where were you? That was the question I proposed, not your response to my video, your response to the community. You see, my children, especially my sons, whenever they make mistakes, the one thing I teach them is to accept accountability for it and man up and not hide in the shadows. Okay, Pumpkin? You know, in all honesty, I really shouldn't have to say anything. I think just presenting the picture is worth 1,000 words. Now, moving on to something that I support, that I believe in, that I stood by, and always had answers for when my community had concerns, or when they were scared, or if you needed guidance because, well, they had their own problems. Parsec. Did you guys not see the good news about Parsec? Now, 2 months ago, I was the very first person to ever talk about Parsec as far as influencers go. It was not sponsored. It was not paid. They paid me $0. I actually do quite a bit of content without getting paid. But when I saw Parsec and I saw it hit Uniswap, I was like, wait a second, what's going on here? I always checked out all the things during that time that was new. And when I saw they had a working product, an actual working product that you could go and experiment with and play with, I was like, I got to pay attention to this. I did a deep dive into it. I actually asked a lot of questions and discovered that this was a good product. So basically, it's a connect blockchain activity to off-chain apps and devices, monitor secure DeFi applications, build custom event triggers, and power real-life automations, i.e. an Oracle. Now, this is badass. It really is badass. You can actually try to request a demo for yourself. As you can see, it's like right here, but my head's in the way. Let me move my head right there. See? Request a demo. Try it for free. You can actually see for yourself. It's working. It's actually well done. It's well thought out. But, so I was the first one to do this. Didn't ask for a dime. They reached out to me and said, hey, listen, we've got some really good news coming out. We like what you've done. Our community likes you, and they want to sponsor me. And I said, sure. So they're sponsoring this channel, and they're sponsoring today's video. Now, the first piece of good news, as you know, is already hit. Binance, CZ. Binance said, hey, we are going to add Parsec to their accelerator program. So they're in there. Binance is putting money into this bad boy. Now, the thing that is special about this, Binance doesn't pick losers. They pick winners. Binance does not lose money. They make money. As you can see, CZ takes a very, very serious based off what we saw in the beginning of this video. But this is just the beginning. They have told me next week they are going to allow me to share something with you guys, something that's big, something that's massive, a collaboration that's very significant and is going to take Parsec into a whole new direction. So make sure you stay tuned to the channel, especially if you are a PRQ holder and if you like the project. I will have something significant for you guys next week. Also, make sure you refresh yourself and update yourself on the Parsec Epoch 2.0 tokenomics. You don't forget that they did have a problem with an exchange. There was a little bit of a hack and an issue. They forked, but you know what? Obviously, the issue was resolved and taken care of swiftly and professionally because Binance would never put their money into something that is risky. So this is a pretty good thing. I will try to remember to put a link for the 2.0 economics down below so that you guys can brush up on it and get familiar with what they're doing, what's going on. I have a feeling this is going to be pretty substantial for the news coming out next week. Speaking directly to my community, no asshole tribalistic, trying to be like tasteless people towards this little, I don't know what you want to call, back and forth between me and BitBoy, but I think it's kind of fun. I think this is kind of entertaining, this little back and forth. So let's have fun with this, okay? My community versus his community. Yeah, he has more subs, but you know what? My subs will kick the shit out of his subs, right? No, just kidding. Just kidding. Let's keep this friendly. Let's keep this friendly. And also make sure you do subscribe to Rainbow Sherbert, aka BitBoy, because I'm sure what he has to say after this one is going to be pretty damn entertaining. All right, guys? So listen, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.